If you're a fan of the holiday special, this next story is very exciting because I never knew I was going to be talking about the Star Wars holiday special when it came to Disney parks. I had heard rumblings that they wanted to incorporate some of that into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but unfortunately that never materialized until now. Very interesting stuff coming out of the Disney parks and Jollywood Nights. Oh yes, the famous, infamous celebration is back, and you can see right here, new character meet and greets announced for Disney's Jollywood Nights Life Day. Chewbacca, we'll be talking about that in just a moment. Bing Bong and
Bing
more.
Bong! Oh my, Bing Bong!
October 22nd to 25 here. You can see they have all of the characters all listed out right there, so if you want to go ahead and go to this event, awesome stuff. You have a little guy from Miguel from Coco right there. You've got Rex. Party Source, Rex.
I guess you didn't get the news, Vash. Scroll back up. I understand that Jose Carioca and Panchito have decided not to appear on the rumors there were ICE agents in the park. So
How'd I know you were going there, Lou? Stop it, Lou. But there you go. You've got Bartosaurus Rex there. You've got Bing Bong, as we've just discussed, but you're going to have one more character. Now, they've featured Chewbacca in the past, that being Walt Disney World, but never like this. This from Geeks and Gamers. What? Geeks and Gamers? Yes, they're doing theme park coverage, and we are helping them out to do it. Alex Garzo, Disney Parks announced meet and greet for universally hated Star Wars show. Yes,
is universally hated a pun of some kind? But anyway.
Well, that's a good point right there. Disney World is bringing Life Day to Star Wars fans this year as part of its Jollywood Nights celebration. If you've never heard of Life Day, it's a Wookiee holiday that serves as the Star Wars universe's version of Christmas. It was introduced in the much maligned Star Wars Holiday Special, a TV movie that aired on CBS in 1978, 1 year after Star Wars was released. Star Wars Holiday Special is most notable for introducing Boba Fett, who would return in The Empire Strikes Back and become a fan favorite. But fans remember Life Day 2, the event that triggers the plot in which Chewbacca returns to his home planet of Kashyyyk to celebrate the holiday with his family, Han Solo in tow. All the main cast members from Star Wars appear. It's pretty crazy. And the extended Life Day ceremony at the Tree of Life with a speech from Princess Leia ensues, which is pretty insane. So Walt Disney World announced it via this message right here. This features music, so we have to view it muted. But you can see right there, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You can see the Wookiee family of Chewbacca there, and his infamous red robe, which, by the way, those red robes were donned by Chewbacca and the other Wookiees at Kashyyyk because the budget was so low. They couldn't actually afford suits for all the Wookiees that were actually featured, so they covered them up in their red robes. My goodness gracious, I never thought this was actually going to be possible, but it is Life Day coming to Walt Disney World as part of Jollywood Nights. Now, the question I have for the panel is, would something like this get you interested in going to Jollywood Nights?
No.
Look, this is kind of fascinating and everything, but Vash, I know you have this whole story here, but I don't believe it, because according to George Lucas, this thing never happened. It was just a complete fake narrative. Like, no way this would have ever been greenlit. Now, if, theoretically, this did happen, I have conflicting emotions, because part of me is like, yeah, I want to get on that meme. Let's celebrate the Star Wars Holiday Special, because, you know, that's not something that's been nostalgia-baited all over the place and back again. However, on the same side, there is a part of me inside that's like, you know, with all the negative things George Lucas has said about the Walt Disney Company, how he was basically scammed as Star Wars, ruined his vision, seeing them now honoring his biggest, what I guess he'd see as his biggest disgrace, quote unquote, I don't know, something about it just kind of irks me the wrong way. And there are times I definitely agree with an artist from their vision, and I do support something they didn't like, but I don't know, with all the negativity I see with Disney, if I'm there, I'll go there for the memes and the lulz, but this, I'm not going to line up for this, because I just kind of feel like I'm cheating on Lucas, per se.
Well, George Lucas did infamously want every single VHS copy of this burned or something like that. Lou, I want to go ahead and get your thoughts. I thought you were chiming in right there. Go ahead.
The obvious thing is we're into do your homework to understand what's going on land again, which is a bad place to go.
That's a good point.
I never heard of this thing. I never heard of it at all. And I'm relatively aware of the world. So the question of will it draw people is based in will people know what it is to give them a reason to be drawn. The second question is all those red robes. That's very pagan, pre-Christian, druids and fiery offerings and all that kind of stuff. Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw I've made a very strange discovery that I feel shocked if it isn't something new that I've just ignored it all these years. Sure. I was watching a video of the now finally renovated sort of kind of Spaceship Earth, and it's been kind of snipped down and simplified in a lot of ways. But I noticed something I never noticed before. When they get to the part about the fall of the Alexandria Library in the Dark Ages, then they tell you, but no, some of those books were actually preserved in Arab and Jewish libraries. But then you go to the monks scrivening away at their copies of illustrated manuscripts, and nobody mentions the word Christian. And I thought, well, is that new, or was that always there and I never noticed? But gosh, that's a strange absence. So to present a holiday that, hey, no, it's not really that Jesus guy. Honest. It's some furry guy in a red robe. And if you don't know about it, we'll make you watch something that everybody wanted to destroy all copies of. And what do they, golly, isn't this a reach? Couldn't they have found something that people would know about if they wanted to actually draw customers?
Well, you would think. I mean, it is Jollywood Nights, and Jollywood Nights has really struggled, I think, presenting enough content for people to enjoy to actually elicit the sale of a ticket right there. I don't know if there's a huge buy-in for it. 2023 was, kind of frankly a disaster. 2024 much improved. But I think they're trying to add offerings that don't necessarily cost a lot of money. They already have a Chewbacca costume, right? Put a red robe on it, boom, it's Life Day. I think it's kind of one of those things more than anything else. But there's an interesting point to be had there, Lou, for sure. MJ, I'm sure you've seen advertisements for Jollywood Nights. I'm sure you've seen the publicity for it. I know you live somewhat in the Florida area, and maybe, I don't know, this could appeal to you and your family. Would this necessarily make it in as far as a purchase for you guys?
No. And I feel bad because I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan like a lot of people are. And from what I was told, Galaxy's Edge is not up to the real the standards of what fans were looking forward to. It was not Galaxy's Edge to begin with. So doing this with Chewbacca, they just took out the they're revamping that whole area now. They're making the animation studios, and they took out the launch and the whole launch bay meet and greet with the characters from Star Wars. So I know people before Jollywood Nights, debuted it. I think people were already, looking for a place to do their meet and greet. They're like, okay, where are we going to meet Vader? Where are we going to see Chewbacca? And this to draw people in, you either really want to go to Jollywood Nights for the actual theming of the event itself. This wouldn't attract me necessarily. Again, I'm not your diehard Star Wars fan. The franchise is interesting. I've never seen all the films, just a few of them, but it would not get me to purchase a ticket. No.
And if I may, the question is threefold. First, if you live in the area like MJ, would you buy a ticket? Answer, we just heard. Nope, this wouldn't make me do it. Maybe Jollywood Nights in general might, but this would not add one more sale to the party. Okay.
Right.
Secondly, if you are a tourist and you've just spent all day at the park doing park stuff, and especially if you paid extra for the lightning super duper whambo pass, would you spend another couple $100 to come back? Not because of Jollywood Nights, but specifically because you got to see Chewbacca in a red gown from a special you never heard of. You see what in other words, if they had done the whole thing and not done this, would it have made a single difference in how many they sold? The answer is probably not.
Right.
So there is whatever minimal expense, there's some expense in putting this on. Is it well spent? The answer doesn't seem like it.
No. It doesn't seem like it, although it is just a red robe. So the addition of it is
but wait, it's rehearsal,
cheap,
it's choreography, it's music or whatever they're going to do. They're not just going to walk around in a red robe and say, "Hail Caesar," like they're in a toga. It's a Wookiee toga party. I just figured out what it is.
Well, here's the interesting thing. No one. Obviously, it's just a character meet and greet in at the end right there, but I have heard concepts of dressing up all of Galaxy's Edge for Life Day, because the parks usually have some holiday decor and overlays for their various lands, for their various different areas. that people actually see when they actually go around the theme parks themselves. I mean, Toontown famously gets a holiday overlay of some kind. Main Street, I'm sure the front end of Disney Hollywood Studios gets holiday decor and so forth. But Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has never had any kind of holiday decor per se, because it's all kind of in universe. This is an in universe holiday. I have heard concepts to incorporate decor. Would that be something that'd be like, okay, now here's something completely brand new, something unique for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? Would that get you into maybe even just Disney Hollywood Studios as a whole, or maybe Disneyland if they have an overlay featuring Life Day?
I think that argument can go for any of your casual goers who aren't even into Star Wars. Just, if you're going to make a mockery of George Lucas, go all out with it in this case. I mean, what, you just going to put a blanket on Chewbacca and call it a day? I mean, compare it just down the street. You still got a few days left right now, not to sound like a walking advertisement, but Universal Studios, their Halloween Horror Nights, like, they go crazy with the theming throughout that whole park. They've completely dropped the ball of any sort of like, oh, for Halloween, let's make everything look all kind of cyber gothic in Galaxy's Edge. Maybe have like meet and greets with like Asajj Ventress, Darth Maul, the dark side characters. Maybe even some of the expanded universe stuff you don't usually see on Disney stuff. And it's not like it has to be canon to anything. But I think that would have a much more likeliness to get someone who's not even into Star Wars to step foot in the park, because at least, hey, it's something different. When I was at Universal recently here, I knew nothing about Jujutsu Kaisen for FanFest, for example, but I had a good time because you could get into the vibe without being an expert. And Lou was making a good point about this is a very obscure thing. But I would like to say that, even if it's crazy, as long as it's easy enough for the audience to comprehend, they don't have to understand it if they go big enough. But if all you're selling is just Chewbacca in a robe, that's not going to get your random Joe Schmo to step on in here, to his point.
And excuse me, I said 3 things and I only mentioned 2. Here's the third.
Please.
If you're staying somewhere that's not on property of either chain, if I can call them chains, and you've spent the day at a Disney park, would you rather go back there in the evening for an extra fee to see their Christmas thing, or would you rather see what they're doing for Christmas at Universal?
Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, it's a real competition now, isn't it, for that after park thing?
Absolutely.
And if it meant you could go to see Paris for Christmas, Joyeux Noël, and then go on Harry Potter, and if it meant, there's just too much competition for something half-butted to get away with it this way.
Yeah, and this is an extra cost after-hours event. I mean, that's the other threshold that you have to meet as well. All that entertainment that Universal will have, like Epic Universe, with the Wizarding World, Harry Potter 3.0, and Celestial Park and so forth, that's included with your park admission. This is an extra kind of add-on feature right here, and I just don't know if it's making the sale necessarily. I think Nolan is exactly right. Really go all out with it and do stuff that fans really would get excited for. The problem is they're stuck to this timeline, and that's one of the restrictions of the timeline that they placed on themselves. Break that in half, give the fans what they want, and in that way, hey, you could have an entire event sold on just those different things, rather than making a half-hearted attempt to
and we've heard about people canceling Disney and going to Universal instead, either from America and from overseas, and we've heard of that.
Right.
What if you booked a year ago and said, we're going to spend next Christmas at Disney World, and they're looking forward to it, and you're going there, but in the intervening year, this thing called Epic Universe shows up, and everybody's raving about it. And if you had a chance to go see it decorated for Christmas as part of the regular admission to see it, versus paying an extra, $150, $200 a head to go see a Wookiee in a red robe? I mean, honestly,
that's what it is.
Where's the sales proposition there? It just doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
We still love him.
Yeah, I mean, look, people love Chewie and they want to see him, and I am all for it if this does appeal to you. I will say, though, it's a minority. And I was just very shocked that they would incorporate Life Day in this way. Like I said, I've heard about it before, but in this way, I kind of know what's going on here. But I want to go ahead and hear from you in the comments. Would this get you to buy into Jollywood Nights finally? Or do you need a little bit more in order to make that purchase price? Let us know in the comments below for sure. Go ahead, Nolan.
Ash, you know how fun it'd be just to get a camera in the Disney office where they're like, sir, Epic Universe is like bringing in all this money. What do we do? Jones, I got it. Star Wars Holiday Special. Book it.
We need to be a fly on the wall, Nolan. A fly on the wall.
That's the sale. That's what they're pitching. We'll see if it works out. It's a really bold strategy, Cotton. It really, really is.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.